Good morning. Bonjour to you. It's Tom Padula from TomPadulaTV on YouTube and Insegna Booksellers. And today is Friday, the 6th of January, 2023, and it's Epiphany Day. In other words, in the Italians have La Befana, the good old witch, coming to complete the festive season on the 6th of January. So after today, you can take down your decorations from the Christmas tree and the Christmas tree itself. And everything else to do with Christmas is behind us. Now, from tomorrow, here in Melbourne and in Australia, we'll be looking forward to celebrating Australia. So it's Australia Day on the 26th, but we want Australia Day to continue to become an Australia Day week. In other words, we're going to concentrate on appreciating every single group that lives in Australia from the very beginning of time to today. And I look forward to doing some work around Australia. It's exciting for me. Okay, now today it's this is a languages and cultures series, and it's French and Spanish. Basically, because French, I continue with the grammar and the practice in order to become more familiar with the language, away from France and away from people who speak the language. So in other words, if you are on your own, what can you do? And this is great, a great way of looking at French, at the study of French as an adult. And I will be looking forward to going back to the University of the Third Age there in Deepdene to be able to continue the work that I began last year. And hopefully we'll have an even better year this year with the people who are there and with people who join us on the day. It'll be a Wednesday, and basically I do French from 9:15 to 10:15, take a little break, and then from 10:30 to 11:30 it's Italian. And I'm hoping that after that break, 11:45 to 1:45, it'll be a world history lesson. But this year, this particular term 1, I won't be doing it because, well, officially anyway. If the room's available or if someone is interested, I'll be able to talk, with those people over a coffee. That's my plan for that's my plan for 2023. So you got to have a plan for 2023. So what are we going to do this year? Well, if we continue with the study of French and the learning of Spanish, I'll be very happy. And also would like to really touch on the other languages briefly, but I will touch on the other languages that I have here at Insegna. I invite people who are interested in languages to come and see me, to come and get some materials to proceed with your aim. So whatever language you want to learn, as the ones that I have here at Insegna, there's about 20 of them, so there should be plenty of choice for everybody. What else can there be? The other focus will be, of course, the theatre part, the sketches, and also the songs, because those two activities really, you just need a small group with the sketches, and with the songs, you can sing them on your own or together with someone else. So what are some of the other activities that you can do? For example, listening. That's the easiest part. So you can listen to the radio, you can watch movies, you can listen to songs, and you just listen. You can listen to the news, to people speaking, get used to the sound of the language. Because when you don't know a language, it seems as if all the words are strung together. Okay, so basically that's where we're at. Then you've got the second part that's quite easy to do is really reading aloud. So, you know, I've got quite a few resources for that, depending on what you like to read about. And, you know, you should have, as an adult, you're very intelligent, you already speak the language, your own language. All you have to do is transfer one to the other. So pronunciation could be a difficulty, but when you open your mouth a little bit more, like in English we don't even need to speak very fast, you know, it's sort of, you sort of a short, there isn't much movement. That's because English comes from a cold country. You know, if you open your mouth too much when it's snowing, you know, you're going to you're building up your eyes in your mouth. Anyway, that was just a reflection. So that's the reading part is easy part. Then the other part that's easy too is the writing of short sentences. And we've done so far the 9 parts of speech with a focus on the nouns, building up a noun bank, and then starting to write using one tense at a time from the verbs and write sentences with that. Okay, so, and then I'll do Spanish along the same lines. So here we go. It's the 30th of, well, it's 11:30, and it's the 6th of January 2023. And I'll say to you, bonne année. Yeah? Have a very good year, a successful one, a healthy one, and try to find joy in your heart and happiness, and look at life in a more optimistic way, because there's so much trouble in the world. You just don't want to focus on those even more. Okay, so you got to rebalance what's in the world sometimes, the nasty parts, with positive thinking. It's a way of living. Some people, you elude yourself. No, we don't. We are optimists. An optimist is not someone who eludes himself, someone who understands and deep down wants to continue to be happy in life. Okay, so here we go. We're going to start with, I ripped my book this morning. Just turning the page, boom. We've done the section on nouns and articles, the whole lot, in the previous lessons. And we began with adjectives and adverbs. There's 4 parts of speech that we're covering. These adjectives and adverbs go on for quite a while, because each one of these has got, in French is a more complex language than most others. Italian and Spanish, easier. But they got their own difficulties as well. Okay, position of adverbs. Where do you put an adverb? In simple tenses of adverbs, follow the verb. That's the simple one. You know, an adverb, you add it to the verb. Easy. Il parle rapidement. Elle chante bien. He speaks rapidly, she sings well. In compound tenses, short common adverbs and some adverbs of manner are placed between the auxiliary verb and the past participle. Some of these are assez, bien, beaucoup, bientôt, déjà, encore, enfin, jamais, mal, mieux, moins, souvent, toujours, trop et vite. Elle a beaucoup parlé. Elle a, nous avons bien dormi. We have slept well. Elle est vite descendue. She came down quickly. Elle a trop bu. She drank too much. So that's easy, in a compound tense. Je suis, tu as, il a, nous avons, vous allez, vous avez, ils sont. J'avais, j'ai, tu as, il a, nous avons, vous avez. So, je suis, tu es, il est, nous sommes, vous êtes, ils sont. J'ai, tu as, il a, nous avons, vous avez, ils sont. Ils sont. So, even just with those 2 tenses, you can make lots and lots of short sentences. And if you've got an exercise book, write them down. So, elle a beaucoup parlé, nous avons bien dormi, elle est vite descendue, and elle a trop bu. Welcome, Asunda Lombardi. Always good to see your name there at the beginning of my lessons. Okay. Adverbs of place and certain adverbs of time, such as hier, yesterday, aujourd'hui, demain, avant-hier, après, demain, autrefois, tard, and adverbs ending in ment usually follow the past participle. So it's not always true that you put between the auxiliary and the past participle. In these particular cases, you don't do that. So let's have a look. Elle veut voyager partout. She wants to travel everywhere. Elle est arrivée hier. She arrived yesterday. She has arrived yesterday. Elle est partie tard. She left late. On l'a rencontré là-bas. He was met there. Elle a compris facilement. She understood easily. So you have to, you have to learn these, but you don't have to. This is about French. It's not French. These are just examples. If you remember them, well and good. But otherwise, it's just for you to refer back to. And if you come to me and you say, Tom, which book do you use? I'll tell you, and I'll have it available for you, and you can order it online, or you can come and pick it up, and I'll even give you a free book if you buy a few of them. So there you are. The adverbs that modifies an infinitive can be placed before or after it. So the adverb that modifies, sometimes they say, what do they say about the nouns? The adjective qualifies the noun. The adjective qualifies gives a quality. But in this case here, the adverb modifies the verb. Some people will say qualify the verb, so no, it's wrong. But the proper way of saying it is modify. So the adverb that modifies an infinitive can be placed before or after it. So, je voudrais toujours garder mon sang-froid. Je voudrais garder toujours mon sang-froid. I always want to keep my cool. Je voudrais toujours garder, or je voudrais garder toujours. So sometimes you can have both ways. Some adverbs may appear at the beginning or end of the sentence when they modify the entire sentence. Finalement, elle est arrivée. Finalement, elle est arrivée. Finally, she arrived. She arrived finally in English. You can do it both ways. Heureusement, il l'a bien fait. That husband of mine, or my wife of mine, she can't cook, but finally she got it right. She made the perfect plate of spaghetti. Or snails in this case. Have you cooked snails? Have you ever had some? They are really quite good, but there's a lot in the preparation of them. Many adverbs of time may also appear at the beginning of a sentence. Enfin, il a fini. Finally finished. Aujourd'hui, nous irons au cinéma. Today, we're going to go to the cinema. Demain, nous partirons. Demain, nous partirons. Okay, finally finished. Today we will go to the movies. Tomorrow we will leave. Okay, complete the following sentence, placing the adverbs in the correct position. So then there are the exercises. I'll just read them. I'm not going to put vous avez parlé bien, vous avez bien parlé. Okay. Il court rapidement. La situation est impossible. Absolument. Elle a voyagé beaucoup. Il a étudié bien. You got to put this the last adverb before, after, or in between the sentence. Nous avons mangé déjà. Nous y sommes allés. Elle est arrivée. Elle a travaillé. Elle va travailler. J'ai mangé. And the adverbs are souvent, hier, patiemment, trop, assez. Follow the model. A-t-elle fini heureusement? Heureusement, elle a fini. A-t-elle fini? That's a question. Luckily, and then you give the answer. Elle a fini. Êtes-vous contente? Naturellement. Va-t-il être à l'heure? Est-il triste? Est-elle arrivée? Est-elle arrivée à l'heure? Naturally, naturellement, certainement, évidemment, finalement, heureusement. So these are, here we go. So that's the whole page, and there's a bit there. And that's enough for today. It's enough for today because, grammar, you can't take much of it, but it's important that you're aware of it. You don't have to remember it all the time, but you need to know where to put the adverbs and the adjectives in a sentence. And if you read a lot in French, you get to see where the writers put these adjectives and adverbs, and you become familiar with it. And even if you get it wrong, you think the French are going to be too bothered with it, they'll know that you're learning French. So they can correct you. So once they correct you, they actually feel better, or they feel miserable. If they're a bit arrogant in their nature, it's a good excuse to put you down. But you're learning. So that's, the person who does that is quite silly. Really. You have to be patient. Now, the next one. What's the next one? Je dois boire de la bouteille. Je dois de la bouteille, yes. I have to drink from the bottle. Okay. Now, what's the next one? The place. Here we are. These are the two that I've read here on this website. And I'm going to use my lessons in order to give back to the students even more possibilities of following what I'm trying to say, how I'm trying to guide them in learning the language. Because at the end of the day, if you learn a language, you don't want someone to tell you exactly what to do. You have to create your own sentences, and you need to. You can't blame the teacher for good or bad. It's really, at the end of the day, it's your own efforts. You can thank them, but really, you are the one who's doing it. So, for example, do you remember the characters in Les Femmes Parlent Trop? Which are the characters in Les Femmes Parlent Trop? Do you remember them? Because we're going to concentrate in 2023, we're going to concentrate on these two and try to put them on stage or, in a classroom, whatever. So let's have a look. Georges Bonnet, Manon Bonnet, Esther Despernay, l'Abbé Fontaine, Blanche Herveau, Claire, âgée de 10 ans, Pierre Cartier, Jean, un ouvrière, un vendeur de brosses. Okay, so these are the characters. So where is the scene, where is this happening on the stage? La scène représente un salon à manger. Au fond se trouve la porte d'entrée. Au premier plan, à droite, porte donnant sur un couloir où se trouve le téléphone. À gauche, porte donnant sur l'appartement. À droite, un premier plan, un tableau. À gauche, bureau couvert de papier éparpillé. I'm not going to just talk about it. I'm going to show you. Here we go. This is the scene here. Okay? So that's the personage and that's the scene. So once you got that, then you can keep going. You can create that particular environment, even in a classroom. Why not? Okay, so that's it. Return to me. So that, and Les Femmes Parlent Trop. What about Simone fait bonne impression? There's another one here. Okay. here we go. The personnage are Simon Jolivet, Madame Jolivet, Monsieur Jolivet, Marguerite Jolivet. That's a lovely family. Madame, the neighbors are Madame Roussel, Madame Bérangère, Madame Parzi, and these are the voisines, the neighbors. And then there is also Marcel Dencourt, jeune homme de 23 ans, a young man of 23 years old. And then there's also Sophie, une bonne, a servant, André, un concierge, Picard, fils d'André, the son of André, Jacques, fils d'André. So they've got 2 children. And la scène représente un salon modeste avec des meubles à râper. Au fond, il y a la porte d'entrée, à droite, porte communicante avec la cuisine, à gauche, un canapé, au fond, un buffet. À gauche, un premier plan, un piano au centre, table avec les chaises, au revers du rideau, Madame Roussel et Madame Jolivet assises à la table, bavardes. They speak, they chat. So this is it here. So you've got as well, there it is. That's the scenery. Okay, so these 2 plays, I've got them till they're finished. If you want them, look up my French in my insegna.com and you can order them. Again, as I say, if you come to me, I can organize you for the year. And you don't, if you want to go to classes, you can. Otherwise, you can follow what I'm saying. You can learn from home. And as I said, the part of speech that the 4 language skills, the one that I haven't mentioned is speaking. Speaking in French is the hardest of them all. It could be the easiest, but it's the hardest if you want to speak like a French person. It takes a lot of work and a lot of practice, with all these things, and then it eventually come out. When the brain is ready to give out the language, it'll do it. Now, I can tell you this, my English, when I arrived in Australia in March, by November I hadn't spoken any English at all. I didn't even attempt it, but I was reading, I was learning the verbs, I learned a lot of nouns, I could read by then, etc. And then all at once, when one of my friends said, we can't speak English because Tom doesn't understand, to the other 2 boys who also spoke Italian, I said, no, I'm ready to speak English. I'm ready to speak English. And boom, it came all at once. It's like, learning anything. If you learn for the stage and you learn your part, then eventually when you have to bring it out, you do. Even with a few mistakes, it doesn't matter. But the bulk of the work is done. Okay, so that's the place, Les femmes parlent trop, et Simone fait bonne impression. Okay, and I might, read this in classes again to get people to actually learn the parts. Okay, now, these are the plays. So, where are the characters in each play? Who are the characters in each play? So you have to know them. Where is the action taking place in each scene? Where do you, speak? Where is the action? And finally, which part would you like to learn? My suggestion is you can learn a couple of parts and, you'll learn your French that way. All right, so that's that. Not bad. It's okay. Now, after this, there's Conte sympathique. Conte sympathique. Today we're doing the artists. Le meilleur artiste. I'm being slow today, 11:48. Well, I've got 12 minutes. Well, we'll see what happens, what we can do. Salvador Dali était à Paris où il visitait le musée national d'art moderne. Le directeur du musée l'accompagnait pendant la visite. Il admirait les œuvres des artistes du XXe siècle. Dali a regardé avec intérêt les tableaux de ses collègues dadaïstes et surréalistes, Klee, Michaud, Miro et Ernst. Comme tant d'artistes, Dali aime beaucoup les compliments, mais il était trop fier pour demander au directeur ce que celui-ci pensait de ses œuvres. À votre avis, monsieur le directeur, a dit Dali, qui est le meilleur peintre moderne? Who is the best one? Dali parlait à voix basse parce qu'il y avait beaucoup de gens près de lui qui pouvaient entendre sa question. Il attendait maintenant la réponse du directeur. Le directeur était fort intelligent et il avait du tact. Il s'est rendu compte de l'importance de sa réponse. Il savait aussi que les gens qui les entouraient contesteraient n'importe quelle réponse. Ne voulant blesser personne, le directeur a dit « Moi, j'aime toutes ces peintures et je ne sais pas laquelle est la meilleure. » Dali a donc répété la question, mais d'une autre façon. « Si vous pouviez posséder un chef-d'œuvre, lequel choisiriez-vous? Comme je suis le directeur du musée, je vois toutes ces œuvres chaque jour. Je ne peux pas choisir la meilleure œuvre. » Enfin, Dali a trouvé la question à laquelle le directeur devait répondre. Si par hasard il y avait un incendie dans ce musée, quelle œuvre sauveriez-vous? Je sauverai celle qui est tout près de la porte, a dit le directeur. En souriant, tout le monde souriait aussi, sauf Monsieur Dali. Ah, lovely. This is the meilleur artiste. Now, I've understood all that. Okay? It's Salvatore Dali is at what's le Musée National d'Art Moderne with the director, and there are four other artists, including himself, Dali. There, because of the exposition, the activity for the museum, and like who is the best of the five painters, including himself, of course, everyone, we all want to know that we are the best. The director says, well, I'm not, there are people around, I'm not going to say you are or whatever. He says, well, I like them all. But what about if you had to choose one? Which one would you choose? Well, I'm here all the time. I look at them, I can't really tell you. But what about if there was a fire, and which painting would you save? So the director, smiling, says, the one near the door. He wasn't going to go in and get burned. So I didn't give him the answer. It's wonderful. And then there are the questions, of course, which we're not going to do today. We're running a bit late. Again, I'm actually enjoying this work now. But I'm going to introduce Paul Verlaine. Paul Verlaine is a very important French poet. And I'll talk about him some other time because I've got a few to do. But I'm going to read you just one poem that he wrote. And it's called « Il pleure dans mon cœur ». Il pleut doucement sur la ville. Arthur Rimbaud. Paul Verlaine. Il pleure dans mon cœur. And he was a friend with Arthur Rimbaud, another French poet. So these lines were written in England as Stickney, Lincolnshire, in 1875. They present a landscape, a tender description done in an impressionistic manner, with a fluid succession of purely sensorial images. The poet, looking out over the fields, sees the hedgerows one after the other, drawn up like an army in echelon formation, or like a limitless ocean of waves in the luminous mist that smells of sweet young berries. In the valley below, against the tender green of the fields, are trees and the windmills, which, instead of being substantial objects, appear light and evanescent. Agile colts frolic or rest in the fields. It is Sunday, a day of inactivity for men and nature. Lambs, as gentle as their own white wool, are sporting on the grass. A peal of bells has come and gone, like a wave breaking, like a flute, and been absorbed in the milky whiteness of the sky. Now, that reminds me of certain music, you know, this description here. But this is the poem that Paul Verlaine wrote. Il pleure dans mon cœur. Il pleure dans mon cœur comme il pleut sur la ville. Quelle est cette longueur qui pénètre mon cœur? Au bruit douce de la pluie par terre et sur les toits. Pour un cœur qui s'ennuie, oh le chant de la pluie. Il pleure sans raison dans ce cœur qui s'écoule. Quoi? Nulle trahison, ce deuil est sans raison. C'est bien la pire peine de ne savoir pourquoi, sans amour et sans haine, mon cœur a tant de peine. Oh, I read the wrong one. This poem here was written. The other poem was L'échelon des airs, the one I wrote about. But this one here is this poem written in 1874. This Il pleure dans mon cœur. Seems to have been inspired, as the epigraph indicates, by a few simple words spoken by Verlaine's companion, Arthur Rimbaud. The author is concerned to compose the little melody, the Ariette Aubrier, that will express his state of mind. It is raining in the town, and in the poet's heart there is a strangely corresponding atmosphere, a gentle melancholy that is unexplained and inexplicable, a mixture of pleasure and pain. The verse is délicieusement faux après, delightful, purposely inexact, with 3 syllables of each stanza rhyming and the 4th a non-rhyme. Well, you know, quite a poem. Il pleure dans mon cœur comme il pleut sur la veille, quelle est cette longueur? Qui pénètre mon cœur? That's beautiful. Well, that's it. That's a poem by Paul Verlaine. Look him up. Look him up. And then there's also, we've got here the cardinal numbers. Do you know them? Le premier, le deuxième, le troisième, le quatrième, le cinquième, le 16e, le 7e, le 8e, le 9e, le 10e, le 11e, le 12e. Moi, the months of the year. 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. And then there are the exercises. And I didn't want to miss out on my singing, of course, because it's, you know, I was listening to La Nuit by a good friend, you know, Salvatore Adamo. Si je t'oublie pendant le jour, je passe mes nuits à te maudire, et quand la lune se retire, j'ai l'âme vide et le cœur lourde. La nuit, tu m'apparais immense, je tends les bras pour te saisir, mais tu prends un malin plaisir à te jouer de mes avances. La nuit, je deviens fou, et puis ton rire fond le noir, et je ne sais plus où chercher. Quand tout s'était revient l'espoir, et je me reprends à t'aimer. Tantôt tu me reviens fugace, et tu m'appelles pour me narguer. Mais chaque fois mon sang se glace, ton rire vient tout effacer. La nuit, je deviens fou, je deviens fou. Le jour dissipe ton image et tu repars je ne sais où, vers celui qui te tient en cage, celui qui va me rendre fou. La nuit, je deviens fou, je deviens fou. Beautiful. Love Salvatore Adamo. He was born on the 1st of November 1943. He's a Belgian musician and singer of Italian origin, known for his romantic ballads, etc., etc. Look him up, Salvatore Adamo. And there's another one here that I love. Tombe la neige, tombe la neige, tu ne viendras pas ce soir. Tombe la neige, et mon cœur s'habille de noir. Ce soyeux cortège, tout en larmes blanches, l'oiseau sur la branche, plaire le sortilège. Tu ne viendras pas ce soir, me crie mon désespoir. Mais tombe la neige, impassible manège. Tombe la neige, tu ne viendras pas ce soir. Tombe la neige, tout est blanc de désespoir, triste certitude, l'effroi de l'absence, saute Dieu silence, blanche solitude, tu ne viendras pas ce soir, me crie mon désespoir, mais tombe la neige, impassible manège, mais tombe la neige, impassible manège. Well, I've given you my French. That's taken a few months, but I can read them, I can understand them, I can sing them, you know, not as good as Adamo, but, you know, also the music, you know, that helps a lot. Here we are doing education. So the aim of all this singing is to get you going with speaking in French, or in Italian, or in Spanish, or in any other language. When you sing in that language. And the same with the plays. Select, you know, one of the personages and learn the part, and then have a few more people around you to act it out. Wonderful. So I've done it all today. Did I do anything else? No, I didn't have to do anything else. No, I didn't choose to do a whole section of words like I'm going to do now with my Spanish, of course. So, oh God, my French poetry fell into the rubbish bin. Oh, it's only paper. But, you know, French poetry, wonderful. Paul Verlaine, Rimbaud, etc., etc. They're all good. They keep you company as well, even though they lived a long time ago. So now we are 2 minutes past 12, not bad. What am I going to do today? I was thinking today, have you ever read a vocabulary or a dictionary? I'm going to read some. I'm going to do the A's of this particular vocabulary. A or N is una, able to be, poder. About, alrededor de, above, encima de, abroad, al extranjero, abscess, el absceso, to accept, aceptar, accident, el accidente, el accidente, ache, el dolor, acquaintance, el conocido, acquaintance, not amico, no. Acta, el actor, actress, la actrice. La actrice è No, that's French. Huh? So you got to remember, how do you say is in Spanish? You got to learn the verb. So this is where, you know, the brain is got to come, and as you grow older, you tend to forget. I don't understand, but, you know, this is good practice. Address, add la actrice, add, añadir, añadir. Address la direction, direction. Advice, el consejo. Aeroplane, el avión. To be afraid, tener miedo. After, después de, después. Afternoon, la tarde is the afternoon. Again, otra vez. Age, la edad is the appetite. El apetito. Bon appetito. Buon appetito. Even in Spanish, buon appetito. Apple, la manzana. La manzana is the apple. La manzana. La manzana. Tiene. La actriz tiene la manzana. The actress has the apple. Isn't it incredible? You can make a sentence there from the words that we just said. I just jumped a page. I got to go back. Agency, la agencia. La agencia. Agent, el agente. Ago, hace, the ago. Ago. What's this? Ago. What's ago in English? Ago. A long time ago. Hace. Agree, to agree. Estar de acuerdo. Yo estoy de acuerdo con la actriz. Ella, el aire. Airbed, el colchón de aire. Air conditioning, el aire acondicionado. Airline, la línea aérea. Email, el correo aéreo. Airport, el aeropuerto. All, todo is all. Allergy, la alergia. Aller, permitir. That's a third conjugation verb. In Spanish, permitir, it ends in IR. All right, bueno, bien. Bueno is the adjective, bien is the adverb. Almost, casi. Alone, solo. Along, a lo largo. Already, ya. Alter, modificar. Older, aunque. Always, siempre. Ambulance, la ambulancia. América, los Estados Unidos. American, americano. To amuse, divertir. Another third conjugation verb. Amusing, divertido. Anesthetic, el anestésico. Ancient, antiguo. End, is end. Angry, enojado. Animal, el animal. Ankle, el tobillo. Annoy, molestar. Another, otro. Answer, la respuesta. Answer, contestar, to answer, contestar. Antique, antiguo. Any, alguno. Anyone, someone. Alguien, anything, something. Algo. Anyway, de todos modos. Anywhere, somewhere. En alguna parte. Apartment, el apartamento. Apologize, to disculpar. To apologize. Disculpar. Appendicitis, la appendicitis. Appetite, el apetito. Apple, la manzana. Abril. Architect, el arquitecto. Architecture, la arquitectura. Arm, el brazo. Around, alrededor de, arrange, arreglar, arrival, la legada, arrive, legar, to arrive, legar, yo lego, a la scuola, alla galleria d'arte, that's it, io lego, I arrive at the art gallery. Io lego alla galleria dell'arte. Artist dell'artista as como, as much as, tanto como, as soon as, tanto, tan pronto como, as well, también, as try, el cenicero, to ask, preguntar. Yo preguntar la actriz. At en la aspirina, asleep is dormido, at last al fin, at once enseguida, atmosphere el ambiente, attention, la atención, agosto, and la tía, Australia, australiano, author, el autor, autumn, el otoño, available, disponible, awake, despierto, away, fuera. So that's it. I've done the I for this. Next time I'll do the B, etc. Reading the vocabulary in some books. Great. Good idea. Have you remembered the days of the week, the months of the year, the seasons? No? Yes? Maybe? Maybe now I will do just one little song. I have to increase my songs now before I get back to class. Cuando caliente el sol aquí en la playa, siento tu cuerpo vibrar cerca de mí, es tu palpitar. Es tu cara, es tu pelo, son tus besos, me estremezco cuando calienta el sol aquí en la playa, siento tu cuerpo vibrar cerca de mí, es tu palpitar, tu recuerdo, mi locura, mi delirio, me estremezco cuando calienta el sol. Cuando caliente el sol, love me with all your heart, that's all I want, love. Love me with all your heart, or not at all. Just promise me this, that you give me all your kisses, every summer, every winter, every fall. Cuando calienta el sol, cuando calienta el sol. That's a nice one too. Okay. And finally, here we go. Yes. We're going to get there soon. Here we go. Now this one here is place no before the verb in both question and statements to form the negative. Place no before the verb to form a negative. Question or statement. Ejercicios. Learn these IR verbs in addition to the IR verbs you learned for the stories in order to understand question and an answer. So they gave you a few examples there, say, learn some more. And see some of the IR verbs in Spanish. Andar, to walk. Bailar, to dance. Caminar, to stroll. To walk. Caminar, to stroll or to walk. Cantar, to sing. Comprar, to buy. Contestar, to answer. Desear, to want. Entrar, to enter. Escuchar, to listen. Estudiar, to study. Gozar de, to enjoy. Hablar, to speak. Invitar, to invite. Llegar, to arrive. Necesitar, to need. Practicar, to practice. Preguntar, to ask. preparar to prepare, regresar to return, tocar to play an instrument, tomar to take, trabajar to work, visitar to visit. So there are quite a few. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 verbs. I agree with your friend's comment. Rewrite the sentences substituting one appropriate pronoun for the subject in italics. For example, Juanita y yo hablamos español. Juanita, the name of the girl, and I, we speak Spanish. Si nosotros hablamos español. Yes, we do speak Spanish. Joanne and I speak Spanish. Yes, we speak Spanish. Roberto toca bien. María canta bien. Alberto y Thomas o solamente escuchan. Ana y Clara preparan pizza. Ella y yo gozamos de las vacaciones. What fun we have. Substitute the subject in particular for the words in italics. Make the necessary changes in the verbs. Pedro y yo bailamos y cantamos. Peter and I are dancing and singing. Yo, él, tú, usted, tú, yo, ella, ellos, nosotros. There are some other exercises here. Look, I am going to stop there because there are a lot of exercises that you need to do. You need to get this particular book. So if you contact me, when I learn Spanish, this is a very good book, really and truly. Very good. And I've got a few copies. Not many. I'd have to order more if there are more people coming. So that's it. It's 12:15. It's getting hot here too, and I need a drink. Now, I will continue with languages and cultures, French and Spanish, and maybe I'll do like with Italian. When I get to 60, I'll then call it, get a bit of a break, and make sure that all these lessons are online on YouTube under TomPadulaTV or TomPadula. Just there is a little icon on there's a circle with my picture in it. That's where you have to go to. You press that when you're on YouTube, and you get all my work. So that's how you can find me, and yeah, because quite a few people are watching these particular lessons of mine, and I'm sure they've got something to say. But at the end of the day, really, the effort of learning a language belongs to you alone, if you want to do it. And I'm here to guide. So I'm here. I'm happy to say that a few people have come in, just a few, not many, just a few people have come in to get the books. And not many have spoken to me about how you do this and how do you, because as I said, adult students are intelligent. They already know the language, a language, so they know. But believe you me, there's always someone else's opinion is important, especially after, I've been doing this now for almost 60 years, more. A lifetime. Okay, on this note, let me just finish off with Historia de un Amor, and then I'll go. Ya no estás más a mi lado, corazón, y en el alma solo tengo soledad, y eso ya no puede verte, porque Dios me hizo quererte para hacerme sufrir más. Siempre fuiste la razón de mi existir, adorarte para mí fue religión. En tus besos encontraba el calor que me brindabas, el amor y la pasión. Es la historia de un amor como no hay otro igual, que me hizo comprender todo el bien, todo el mal, que le dio luz a mi vida, apagándola después. Ay, qué vida tan oscura, si tu amor no viviré. Ya no estás a mi lado, corazón, y en el alma solo tengo soledad. Y si ya no puedo verte, porque Dios me hizo quererte para hacerme sufrir más. Es la historia de un amor como no hay otro igual, que me hizo comprender todo el bien, todo el mal, que le dio luz a mi vida, apagándola después. Ay, qué vida tan oscura, si tu amor no viviré. Ya no estás más a mi lado, corazón, y en el alma solo tengo soledad, y si ya no puedo verte, porque Dios me hizo quererte para hacerme sufrir más, sufrir más, sufrir más. Adios, and the next time. This is Tom Padula from TomPadulaTV on YouTube and Insegna Booksellers. And have a good weekend. Bye-bye.